welcome back. And this one we will be dealing with the Restless spirits and Hyakki Yagyo. No, in Restless spirits you will fight two enemies. One will appear Tani Yoshitsuke will appear first, and then his purpose will appear later. There's a... I think you have like... around 1 minute, I think. To deal with this. After that's up, you have to do the other one. If you can, just use Sword Tailsman on this guy and just use Spirit Stones to, get and use your Spirit Weapon to deal crushing blow to him because of the darkness. See that is. Or you can use that was a really long method, but just running around waiting one of them to come to me because of the large arena where I can easily hide, and that way allowing myself to kill them slowly but surely. Because I fought the enemy multiple times and died multiple times, but they did produce a lot of Amrit I was able to collect, but level up. It is, I believe, a good opportunity to upgrade myself. I worked a little bit on body, increased attack a bit, and a bit on stamina, just in case I get something that I can wear to my style. I used some sacred water as well, but that strategy didn't work. But Moment Talisman, Slot Talisman, Carnage Talisman, and a bit of Slot definitely work. basically do is just run from one side to the other side in hopes of catching one of them alone. In a way that charistically that are made to deal with them one by one because of how this place is structured. did take some time, but I was able to beat them. Yeah, it was not really that hard once you get the hang of it. Now to Hyakki, Yagyo, if I'm pronouncing that right. In this one we will have, I think, 4 enemies. Oh. Yeah, they will come one by one. So that makes it a bit easier than the other missions, and it has a lot of umbrella as well. Because all of them are yokai enemy, that's why you get a lot of umbrella. So first you have the ogres, then you will have the spider lady, then you have the Hino, and then you will have the 100 eyes. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong fucking button. They are fucking down. With the ogres, you just have to move inwards towards her whenever she attacks you. That deals with most of the attacks, the special attacks. You can dodge the other ones and try to... and because it's a huge surrounding, you can easily block and jump attacks. He's the easier of the bunch. With this style that I play, like how did I moved inwards when she ran towards me from behind. And try to decrease the key that will allow you to get a lot more. Like this, am I moving? Now I can attack her. You have to be careful, just in case, and not get greedy when dealing with her. Gumo's weakness is just going behind her and attacking her all that weakens her instantly, allowing you to deal, if you have tons of bows and gunshots, damage to her, otherwise a bit of a slow fight. And if you have tons of bombs, that also definitely helps. November, I would recommend slow talismans that works best for her because she is too quick. And I hate her. She's the one that killed me the most. Sure, she easily takes a lot of damage and isn't pretty strong. But still, with her quickness, she's able to do a lot of damage to us. It's very important not to get greedy again. Finally, the 100 eyes is, I think, is simple and easy. His methods can be easily dodged, and he's slow and clumsy as well. And when he uses his eye, that's really easy. To create long-lasting sequential bling weapons. So yeah. for that. It's a really nice way to get some amrita, and you can use really steersman and the other type of sake. When it's a sin and the Taujin, one of them, you can use them to correct your plans in terms of amrita. So yeah, it's a nice mission to correct a lot of amrita to upgrade yourself, because you are definitely gonna need it, especially for the next mission we will be tackling, because that is something else that's hard. It's hard. It's hard as fuck. I would say it's one of the most difficult missions that I've played. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next time.